Heather Rogers is a professional organizer, and she is here to help you maximize your productivity. If you have questions, again, write them into Slido so that she can answer them after the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause for Heather Rogers. Have fun.
Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm so glad I didn't have to follow Bo. He was amazing. I was crying. Oh, my God. Bo, if you're still here, you rock. You're awesome. Okay, so today I'm going to teach you how to just say no. And I'll probably have you do a little pump up with me like Bo did, because I liked that. So we're going to learn how to just say
No.
Awesome, it worked. Okay, so today, after this presentation, you will know how to say no. You will feel better about your ability to manage your time, and you will become more focused on your priorities, which, as I see by your answer to the question, is sleep. I totally agree. If I had any extra time in my day, that is exactly how I would spend it. It's probably not the most productive way, but hey, we all need more sleep. So I teach a time management course, and there's 6 weeks and 6 steps. Today, we're gonna focus on step number 5, but the other steps are setting goals, using a calendar, which, believe it or not, most people don't do, routines, to-do list, and maintenance is always the last step. So today we're going to focus on that, just say no. So we just talked about work-life balance, and I thought, oh gosh, I hope they don't steal my thunder, because that slide all the way to the right is, to me, the embodiment of us trying to walk that tightrope between the clocks, right? Like, I don't think there is such a thing as work-life balance, and I love that they're coming up with new terms like blend to make us feel better about that. But I think most of us feel like the lady in the middle, right? Drowning in papers. That's what most of my clients say. I'm drowning in paper. And just so you know, that's me in the other picture at the hospital after I did not say no to anything. I said yes to everybody, everything, every charity, every family member, every client. So it landed me right smack dab with pneumonia in the hospital. And so that's a nice lesson to learn. That's how I learned that I've got to start saying no. So I'm going to teach y'all how to do that today, and hopefully I can spare you the visit to the hospital and the pneumonia. All right, so when is it okay to say no? I feel like I'm going to do a generalization here. Most women have this people-pleasing quality about us, where we like to say yes to everybody because we think it's going to make them happy. What I want y'all to think about is when you're saying yes to one thing, you're saying no to something else. So if you can't do that thing you're saying yes to 100%, then you need to say no. And I'm going to teach y'all how to do that today. So when is it okay to say no? Well, when you're too busy, when you can't give 100%, when you don't want to. That's okay, it's all right. And when it will cause extra stress, which I feel like a lot of us don't know that it's gonna cause a lot of extra stress until it's here. So it's a little too late. So what I want you to do is when someone asks you to do something, whether it's family, friend, church, work, whatever, I want you to say, let me check my calendar and get back to you. Thanks for asking. So you can pause, you can think, you can go home and talk to your family member about it, and it's okay that you don't say yes immediately. This is gonna give you time to see if you really do have the time to say yes to this person. So what are we gonna say? Let me think about it. Let me think about it, I'll get back to you tomorrow, okay? What should you say yes to? Well, things that you wanna do, things that you're passionate about, if you love the organization or the person who's asking, and then things that you have time for. And that's really, really important, because I think that we're all just stretched way too thin on our calendar. So here is a list of all the things I'm giving you permission to say no to. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, and you can blame me. This girl was at this talk, and she told me I can say no to you, so just blame Heather. All right, so school activities include PTA, field trips, room parent, bake sale, after school, fundraisers, work requests. We have a lot of small business owners in this room. I give you permission to say no to your clients. Yeah, You can say no to them, you can fire them, whatever. If they are stretching you too thin and you're not gonna give 100% of yourself, it's okay to say no to your clients. You can say no to overtime, favors for your boss or your colleagues. You can say no to weekend work, extra travel. In the family category, you can say no to moving, help with moving their home. They got moving companies that do that, yeah. Any of you own a pickup truck? You probably haven't answered your phone since you bought your pickup truck, because everybody's calling you, right? So you can say no to hosting a holiday gathering, planning a reunion, more travel. You can say no to your friends if they're asking you to help out with their kids, different events, fundraisers, hosting, cooking, babysitting, pet sitting. Yep, you can say no. I'm giving you permission, all right? Your neighbors. This is one of my favorites. The HOA meetings. Yeah, you can say no. It's all right. And you can say no to being on that board too. Yeah, because that is going to take a lot of time, and somebody else will do it. I promise someone else will raise their hand and do it. Your neighborhood is not going to crumble if you don't say yes. Block party planning, petitioning the neighbors, more cooking. Yeah, I'm saying no to cooking all the time. Anything religious, so we feel bad because, God. So we say yes. Yeah, we say yes. And then we wind up with another 40-hour-a-week volunteer job, or as I just heard the other day, a voluntold. Have you ever been voluntold to do something? So you can say no to fundraisers, events, calling members, cooking, another board, a committee, right? Permission, you're allowed. Okay, so how do you say no? This one's probably a little difficult for some of us in the room. My mom is the woman who said yes to everything my entire life. So I really had to teach myself how to do this. I would love to, but I just can't right now, okay? I'm sorry, I'm already committed that day, that week, that month, that decade. I'm committed, okay? Or you're gonna have to commit me, right? The month before is so crazy, I won't have any time to dedicate to this project. But thank you for asking. I really appreciate it. I can't add this to my plate while I'm giving so much time to other projects or other people. Or thank you for thinking of me. I really appreciate it. Maybe next time. Ask again. I might say yes next time, but I just can't right now. It's okay. They're not gonna stop being friends with you. They're not gonna send you to jail. It's all right. We're gonna just say no. And you can say no thank you if it makes you feel better about it. Yes ma'am, no thank you, okay? So another way that we can add more to your day, all right? So here are some other little productivity tips for you. So I want you to take 10 to 15 minutes a day, turn off those devices, and just take a minute for yourself. Turn off your computer, your phone, nap. We all said we want more sleep. Nap if 10, 15 minutes. Take a bath, go for a walk, do something just for you, okay? Put exercise on your calendar or it will never get done. Block off the time and actually go and do it. It always makes you feel better, right? Even if it's just a few minutes. Commit to doing something each week that brings you joy. It's okay if it only brings you joy. That's all right. That's okay. You need to experience that. Plan and cook meals in advance. Cooking is a huge stressor and anxiety causer for a lot of my clients. So if you do things in advance or plan your menu in advance, go grocery shopping, have a list, this is gonna help take that additional stress off of every single day. And last but not least, breathe. Breathe. I want you all to breathe in right now and exhale. Don't you feel better? Sitting in traffic? Breathe. Breathe, people, all right? We got some traffic in Atlanta, so we need to all breathe. So this is me 1 year after the hospital photo. I'm traveling through Italy with a copy of my new book that I had written. I had learned to say no to lots of different things and say yes to myself and my passions and my bucket list trip. which was Italy. So this is possible. You can dream big. You hear when you're traveling to put the oxygen mask on first because you can't help anyone else unless you help yourself and make yourself a priority. I am giving you permission to make yourself a priority, all right? So put that oxygen mask on first, do something that brings you joy, and just say no to everything else. By the way, one of you is gonna be winning a copy of my book later today. All right, so here's a couple of little apps that will help you also with your productivity. People always ask me, what kind of technology do I use or do I love? So Unroll.me, it's gonna be a life changer, people. Katie Couric's professional organizer taught me this. So you go online, and this is a way to organize all those emails. You can unsubscribe to thousands of emails that you don't want anymore in seconds, or you can roll up several emails so that you're only getting one a day instead of 20, 30, 40 a day. So I love Unroll.me. The next one is the Google Calendar. This is a very simple yet wonderful tool. You can color code your whole family. You can share calendars between each other, and it integrates seamlessly if you have a Gmail account. It's available from anywhere, and it's very easy to search. All right, so what are the benefits of just saying no and getting your life back? So the first one is time, right? That's one's pretty obvious, that extra hour a week that you can sleep or do whatever you want. You're no longer gonna waste precious time stressing about missing appointments. You might arrive on time or even early, imagine that, to an event. You're gonna get back energy. So a lot of people don't realize that our worry and our anxiety, it's subconscious, but it makes us anxious and stressed out, just like clutter does. So you're gonna get back energy that was being spent on anxiety and stress. And then control. It's all back in your hands. You have had the confidence of saying no to things that weren't as important and saying yes to things that you could commit to. So it's all back in your hands, and you've conquered all of your time management issues. So, how will you spend your 86,000 seconds a day? Don't waste it. Do it on stuff that you actually want to say yes to. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Yep.
We want to keep you on the hot seat.
Absolutely.
I would like to take you home with me. I mean that in the best way possible. You know what I'm saying? I just think like everything that you said, I need to know all of these things. So we've seen some good questions coming through
all right.
On Slido. So let me see if I can pull these up here. I want to ask this one. Somebody asked, I don't want to be known as a business owner who doesn't deliver. So how would I say no sometimes and still be considered a reliable professional?
Wow, that's a great question.
Insightful, right?
So we talked about boundaries earlier, and I think that that is the most important thing that you can do. So I don't answer emails or phone calls on Sundays, ever. And that way, no one expects me to. So I think setting boundaries pretty early on, if you've already said I'm available 24/7, you can pull back from that, or you can say, you know what, I'll get back to you and give them a time. So just do what you say you're gonna do when you say you're gonna do it. I think setting expectations is really important there.
Somebody also asked, and I think you just alluded to this, but everybody's always looking for the best digital calendar app. So do you say lean into Google Calendar?
Yeah, I really love Google Calendar. I think it's very user-friendly. It's easy to use. There are tons of tools and apps and everything else out there, but this one, a lot of people have and use, so they've kind of worked all the bugs out. So I really like Google Calendar.
You know, I like this. We have some folks that are upvoting this one. How do you essentially take back a yes?
I see that.
You already
That's
said
hilarious.
it, and now everybody's like, shoot, I'm going to tell a bunch of people no about stuff I said yes to.
Right.
How do we do that delicately?
I want to go back in time and change my yes to a no. So I think that if it's something that you've said yes to, like a commitment of an event or something that's coming up, if you could find someone else who's willing to help you with that or who will do it for you, then I think you can go back and say, you know what? It turns out I'm not going to be able to do this, but I have the perfect person here who is going to do it. So I think if you solve the problem, whatever that might be, whether it's friends, family, work, etc., then they're not going to be as upset that you said yes and now you're going back on it.
A lot of folks want an answer to this. So you're on the hot seat. We got small business owners, entrepreneurs here.
Yes.
What are the most productive hours of the day for most entrepreneurs? When would you tell them to lean in?
Wow, interesting. So I can only speak from my perspective. I'm the most productive in the late afternoons. I don't know why. I always have been. I usually work with my clients in the mornings, and then I get all of my admin and everything else done between like 3 and 6. So that just works for me, but some people are super early morning people. I just got back from a business conference, and they said they get up at 5 a.m. so that they have the time to focus without other people pulling them. So I think it works for each person individually. You have to figure out when you're the most energetic and alert.
This is one that I'm going to upvote here just with my own voice right now. Someone said, I do not see social media on your no list. Can you talk a little bit about how to balance social media and if you set up barriers for that?
Oh, okay. Well, I actually have started just this year putting my phone in another room when I'm awake. I've always kept it out of the bedroom, but I noticed that I was like just looking at it constantly, and it was very distracting and anxiety causing. So I actually put my phone away after a certain time in the evening, so 6 or 7 p.m., so that I can dedicate and focus to my family and what I want to do. So I think, again, you just kind of have to set rules and boundaries for yourself so that you're not on it all of the time, because it can be kind of addictive.
I will say, personal experience, I have a bit of an Instagram problem. And I found, someone told me that there's a daily limit that you can set, and if it's 15 minutes, it'll pop up.
Yeah.
I have found it to be more of a mechanism for shame than anything, where it's like, oh, it's 8 a.m. and I've been on this for 30 minutes. Well, okay, I'll call my pastor.
Well, and I know you can also set time limits on your kids' devices too, where they just shut off automatically at a certain time. We need it too
as adults, right?
We do. We
Goodness.
absolutely need that feature.
A lot of folks are interested. They want to know, how many employees do you have?
So I have 12 subcontractors right now, and I just hired a business development manager to grow a new division of my company. So 1 actual employee, yeah.
We'll see if we can squeeze in maybe 1 or 2
Sure.
more. Is there ever an acceptable time to break the no rule? Because everybody feels very liberated with this no.
Right, they're excited to say no. So, yeah, I think, again, if you're really passionate about something, or if somebody really needs you and they've asked 20, 30 other people and they've all said no, if you can find time for it, then I think that it's okay to break it. But you really have to make that time and commit it, because you don't want to do anything half, right? You don't want to commit to something and then you're juggling so many other things that you can't really commit to it. So yeah, I think maybe if they're really, really desperate and they've asked lots of other people and you can carve out a little bit of time. And again, get a co-chair, get a co-leader, get a chairperson to help you, get a buddy, so that always helps delegate the work, so it's not all on your shoulders.
Can you say the name of your book one more time?
Oh, sure, it's A Simplified Life.
A Simplified Life.
Yep.
As Heather mentioned, someone here is going to be winning a signed copy before you leave today. But I think everybody else, I want to know the title of the book, because I want the book and
Absolutely.
I need it. A Simplified Life. One more time for Heather Rogers. Thank you guys for your questions.
Thank
We're up against the clock. Nice job.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate that.